What is going on, everybody? Friday night live stream at 7 p.m. EST. This is Ohio Fish Rescue's normal time, and I'm taking over it just for tonight. Koi Dragon Aquatics, how's it going? It's going good here. I haven't been live streaming on Fridays recently, just really honestly because I'm asleep by the time I'm supposed to be live. Work has been busy. The business has been busy. I've been getting up extra early on Saturdays, and I'm just exhausted by 10:30, 11 when I normally go live. Ohio Fish Rescue's YouTube account got hacked, and that's why they haven't been posting videos or going live. So I hope they get that figured out. Because they don't have control of the YouTube account right now, I figured I'd take over their time slot just for tonight. And GRB Aquatics, how's it going, bud? And so I wanted to mention some things tonight. Good things. I think there's one video left on the import fish order playlist. I think one video released yesterday, so the next one will be Sunday. I recorded 6 videos. They're all uploaded, and they're releasing every 3 days. It's a 6-part series, so that should be wrapping up this weekend. And as far as that goes, everything's going great now. Originally, it started off pretty rough, and now that I think about it, it's been almost 2 months since I started that whole import fish order process. But yeah, so I've imported 4 or 5 orders now, and everything's going pretty good. Oh, Haley's here. Hey, Haley. I hope everything's going good with you, and congratulations on the, I guess, what would that be, spotted Congo puffers. But so some product updates just today. I brought on Python airline tubing. It's 10-foot and 25-foot lengths. I was selling the Lee's brand, but a lot of people were requesting the Python brand. So I'm phasing out the Lee's airline, and I brought on Python. The other things I brought on, you can actually see there's some boxes right here. These are hang on the front or hang on the back breeder boxes. Oh, the dogs. They just came in from outside, so they're probably hyper right now. The hang on breeder boxes. Haley has them, and when she started breeding the Bichers, she gave me some eggs, and then I bought one, and they're super cool because they just hang on your fish tank. It uses an air line and goes into a lift tube, and it basically pulls water out of your tank into this box. And you can put like guppies in it to breed them. Like you put the female guppy in there, let her drop her babies, and then pull her out. The reason I'm using them, well, the reason I bought it was because of Haley. You put the eggs in there, and that way you're using your tank water, and it's constantly flowing it through. But I'm using it now to grow plants. So I'm basically putting, right now I'm doing my Christmas mosses. I'll put a little bit in one of those breeder boxes and hang it on different tanks, and that allows me to grow the Christmas moss, and then it's right there in front of me. I can just pull it out of the box, cut some off, ship it out, put it back in. So it's pulling the nutrients out of the tank water, which is great. It's easy for me to get in and out. I'm not disturbing the shrimp or fish in that tank. And the other bonus is, since it's high, you're getting more par off your lighting. All my lighting sits like above my tanks. It's not directly on the tank. So in my situation, I'm getting a lot more par because it doesn't have to go through all the water to hit that moss. So my moss is growing super quick. And I wanted to get some more because my goldfish tank, they keep uprooting any kind of, I was trying to put stem plants in there. Stem plants grow super fast, so they're going to be really great at pulling nitrates out of the water. But they keep uprooting all the stem plants. I can put a Nubius in there and like glue it to a rock or driftwood, but the Nubius is a slow grower, so it's not really going to consume a ton of nitrates. So what I want to do is put a couple hang on the front breeders on the tank, and then put some plants in that, so that way the goldfish can't get to it, but I'm still circulating some of the nitrates out. Mr. B is here. He says, good day, be right back. He's sharing it out. Mr. B does all the, I believe the group is YouTuber notifications or FishTuber notifications. So thank you for doing that. Haley says, smart idea. Yeah, so I want to start putting that on a lot of the tanks. And coolest dog ever. I don't even pay attention. She comes up next to my feet and I start petting her. But yeah, so I want to start doing that on the tanks, and that way I just have more room to grow plants and it'll be super easy to pull them out. And the other bonus is, if you have snails, you can use that breeder box to help keep the snails out. So if you are trying to sell plants for a profit, you'll less likely be able to have eggs and crap get on them. So I brought those in. That's what those are. The airline tubing, North Fin Foods. So I was kind of holding off on it, but I had some people ask for the beta North Fin Foods, and since I have this beta, I was like, all right, I'll bring some in. So I brought in, let me pull up everything I brought in. Actually, I have the list. So I brought in the North Fin, the beta bits. It's the 1 millimeter pellets, and it's the 100-gram size, so it's a decent amount. I also brought in their kelp wafers. So I imported some plecos, and I used the Sarah catfish chips, and I really love them. But I wanted something else to try, and so I used the Hikari algae wafers. So I have the algae wafers. The catfish chips have wood in them, so I really like that. And then I was reading up on the kelp wafers, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bring some of those in and give them a try. Didn't I have a wrench? I have no idea. Did you, Mr. B? You should have a wrench. Wait a minute. Are you the real Mr. B? Hang on. Can somebody verify? That was Ohio Fish Rescue with Matt. Yeah, make sure you are correct. Okay, that's the real you. All right, you should have a wrench now. So let me. Mr. B is a way better mod than me. Well, Haley, yeah, you're right, because just so everybody knows, every time I do something random, wherever, I'll send a text message to Haley, and somehow it always turns into her trying to get free stuff from me. I don't know if it's products or whatever, but she always wants me to send her free stuff. So I don't know how this is working out, but she's a mod. Weird, LOL. Yep. Mr. B, I did get your message. You are a mod. At least it shows it on my screen. So yeah, North Fin Foods, I brought in the 2 different size bags of the kelp wafers. They should be live on the website, 614fish.com. And shrimp are back in stock, and they are all currently hobbyist bred. I do have the Flip Aquatics wholesale, and right now they're just, everybody's breeding pretty strong. So I should have the Blue Dreams and the cherries in stock. I'm just double checking that. Plants are in stock right now. I'll just throw that out there for if there's anybody listening and driving. We have banana plants, the dwarf aquarium lily bulbs. So I ended up originally buying a couple from Aquarium Co-op. Never had them before. Bought them, tried them, loved them. It's a super awesome plant. If you don't know that plant and how it works, you get the bulb, you plant it like halfway into your substrate, it'll grow roots. It starts bringing out a plant like at the base, but then it sends a runner up to the surface and then gives you like the lily pad. So it's super awesome. I wouldn't recommend it in a high-tech planted tank because you do get these pretty big lily pads, and that's going to block any direct light to plants below it. So if you're trying to do like any kind of carpets, I would not use that plant at all. But this, I use it in my shrimp tanks. I have 55-gallon shrimp tanks, and I use it in that because I wanted the surface area of the lily pads. So as those are sitting on top of the water, the shrimp are on the bottom of them, eating biofilm and things like that. So that's the reason I use them, and they seem to grow really quick. But I have those in stock. I have Java Fern, Jungle Val, Anubias Barteri. I have that in stock. Crypt Lutea, I have it, but it's not fully converted over yet, so I don't think I have it listed. Marimo moss balls. And then as far as fish, let me run through this real quick. We got some. All right, we got a lot of people popping in here now. Recon's Aquariums, how's it going? Down the wormhole. I hope everything's going good for you. Not Nola Jane, what's up? Chevy Fish. Hope everybody is having a good Friday night, and I hope your work week is over. I know some people work on the weekends, so I hope you can punch through that and get some time off. Puppies, yeah, so they're usually like pretty lazy. They hang out, but as soon as I let them outside, they get that cold air, then they just want to play. And Havana right here is picking on Charlotte. They like to mouth wrestle is the best way I can describe it. If you don't have dogs, and maybe you haven't seen it, but it looks like so vicious. They just like mouth wrestle, and it looks like they're trying to kill each other, but that's what they do. Pea puffer. Did I miss something? Haley, what do you feed your pea puffer? Don't have pea puffer, but when I did, I fed bloodworms. So I have pea puffers myself. They get frozen bloodworms and ram's horn snails. I keep ram's horns in basically all my fish tanks, and anytime the population gets a little big, they go to the pea puffers. Not Nola Jane, it's so tiny I can't get it to eat the bloodworms. So I had the same issue. I bought 3 of them, and they would not touch bloodworms at all. So I fed them just the ramhorn snails. If you don't have any, I recommend getting some. Don't feed them. Let them populate in one of your tanks, and then you'll have your fresh supply of food for them. But feed them ram's horns and get them like constantly eating those. Drop a few in each day. Get that going for a few weeks, and then stop feeding them. And I think I fasted mine for 5 days. And on the 5th day, I dropped in some frozen bloodworms, and they just went after it. They attacked it. And that's how I got mine on the bloodworms, because they wouldn't touch it at all. So I did the fast and then dropped in a little bit of frozen bloodworms, and that's how I got them to do it. And I don't know if people drop in like a whole frozen cube. I take a frozen cube, I put it in a Dixie cup, and I let it thaw out completely. and then I use my tweezers and grab just a couple bloodworms and drop in the tank, because I'll use the one cube and I'll feed multiple tanks with it. But yeah, so fasting is how I got mine to switch over to bloodworms, because it's a lot easier, because you don't have to go tank to tank to get snails. But I still feed them snails because I have ram's horns everywhere. If you need some ram's horns, I have it listed like 10 for $5 on the website. But in all honesty, I've been sending people like a buttload. You buy 10 for $5, I'll probably send you like 30 or more. I give out scoops of it. So if you're ever planning on ordering fish or shrimp or whatever, I can always hook up on the ram's horns. I'm not stingy on those at all. I don't know how to get. So on the YouTube page, I have it in live chat. Oh no, I'm good. Let's just make sure it's not in top chat. Haley says fasting is how I switch my biters from bloodworms to pellets. Worked like a charm. Yeah, I mean, if they're hungry, they're going to eat. It's just that if they're spoiled, it's just like, I don't know, maybe like a kid or something. Like if they're spoiled, they're going to be picky, but when it comes down to it, they'll eat. Let's see, Tom Patterson, what's going on, buddy? Most people give up and get scared too early. Yeah, I mean, I originally bought mine to control my snails, just because they can get out of control. But eventually got to the point where I'm like, all right, like I don't want to keep feeding all these snails because I am trying to sell them too. So that's when I tried to get them onto the bloodworms. And this new wholesale account I got, where I got this Northfin food, they sell the frozen Hikari foods. The BioPure, I think, is what the like frozen brand is. And like, man, like I always struggle trying to find that stuff, but I don't. There's no way I could sell it, because then I had to do like dry ice, and that would just get crazy. I don't think dry ice is expensive. It's just the hassle of going to go get dry ice every time an order is placed, because the wholesale pricing on it's not too bad. Nola Jane, do you have snails in any of your tanks that you can feed it? Because I would almost guarantee they will eat a snail. Sand Creek Aquatics, not much, just getting up and around. Are you where are you from if you're just getting up? Are you like overseas, or are you on like a third shift or something, sleep it during the day? Recon's Aquarium just had a busy day, just got dinner done, and having a cold one now. So normally I am right there with you. I'm drinking a beer while I moderate Ohio Fish Rescue's channel. But since they are not live, I decided to go live, and I have some green tea. Arizona green tea is my go-to non-alcoholic beverage, and Amazon Prime Now. I know not everybody has Prime Now. If you do, it's awesome. If you don't, it's basically Amazon that's in your city, and you can do like grocery shopping, and they deliver it to your house within an hour. These are like 99 cents wherever you go. On Prime now, it was like 59 cents. So I just buy a bunch through there, and then they bring them to my house in an hour. It's very spoiled. I buy so much stuff through Amazon, shipping supplies and groceries and everything. Recon said Monster Energy seems to be my go-to non-alcoholic lately. Not good, but I like it. So I used to get the Monster import brand or type, or whatever it's called, the import, and then the Rehab like tea lemonade one. It's like the yellowish label. I used to drink those all the time. 2 years ago on Valentine's Day, so Valentine's Day 2018, I had an SVT cardiac event where basically your heart misfires and it goes out of control. And after that day, I stopped with energy drinks. I haven't had an energy drink in almost 2 years now. I still drink coffee every day, but I cut out energy drinks. Problem is, they're like $3 each. Yeah, they can get expensive. Recon does the regular green and black monsters. I think the last one I tried was the white can. I don't know what it's called, but it was pretty good. Nola says she has ram's horns, pond snails, MTS. So Malaysian trumpet snails. So I originally bought my pea puffers for pond snails. I bought plants off a local club member, and this was like when I first started out, and I didn't think or even know to like bleach dip the plants. And I got two things out of that. I got pond snails and I got duckweed. The duckweed I am still dealing with to this day. I can't get rid of it. I take it back. I successfully got rid of it in my 75-gallon because I put goldfish in there and they took care of it. All my other tanks have it, and I would love to put my goldfish in it, but some of them are shrimp tanks, and the goldfish will just gobble those up. So, yeah, I just kind of scoop out a few pounds a week and move on. It's even in my betta tank, and that it got in there because I transferred the Java fern and the crypt when Deadeye Red, or actually this is Tropica, from one of my rack system tanks, and it must have had like a little piece of it on it because now it's got duckweed. Recon says, to be fair, I drink 1 or 2 energy drinks a day. I don't know if that is bad or not. Typically, energy drinks are not good for your heart, so I would say it's not good, but, to each their own. I stopped drinking them because of my heart and try and do better on that kind of stuff, but let me see what else. This chat is moving tonight. How many people are in here? 16 right now. I always focus on the chat and I don't focus on what I need to talk about, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it more at this earlier time than at 10:30 at night or 11, because I'm just usually so tired that I'm ready for bed and I can't focus at all. Mr. B says, I have no duckweed. I would love to be bragging, but I really just don't think it will live here. So I would say, Mr. B, with my experience with this stuff, and I would say if your tanks are warm, even if they're not warm, and they have nitrates, you could probably get it to live. It might not live outside, but if your tanks are inside, I guarantee you can probably get duckweed to live. But I'm looking at getting rid of rack system 1 and 2 So refresher, rack system 1 was like the first fish room system I did. It's just the 5 tanks. It's the 310s and the 220 longs, and they're on the drip water change system. They're all drilled, overflowed. I'm thinking about getting rid of that system, and the system that I did like all last year, trying to perfect the flow through system. It's got the 520 longs, and then the 510s on top. They all feed each other. I'm thinking about getting rid of all of that as well. And the reason why is this import rack. I really like how it's all very clean looking, and I want to mirror that onto the other side of the room. And I need more water storage. I think I talk about that in one of the import videos. It might be the 6th video that comes out, I think, on Sunday. But I need to get like a 200-gallon stock tank to put water in to do my water changes, because right now I had to add a 55-gallon barrel, and with that 55-gallon barrel in the one I already have, it's enough to water change the import rack, and that's it. It's not enough to do the full fish room. So I'm looking at redoing rack 1 and 2, making it look like the other rack, and possibly doing a mixing valve and bring in hot water, so that way I can directly do water changes with basically unlimited water. But right now, since I'm using the room to acclimate cold water, I would need at least a 200-gallon storage tank to be able to water change my whole room. But so I was thinking about it. It's rack system 2. I put so much time and effort into it, a lot of time in the plumbing. It kind of sucks to think about like ripping all that out and starting fresh. But I think I would be more happy with doing like a mirrored row. It's like when you walk down the fish room, it's like the same on both sides. So it's kind of like walking through a fish store. The 10s will be gone. I won't have any more 10-gallon tanks. The top row I can probably sell off to club members. They're already drilled with bulkheads. So, that wouldn't be a problem. Might save somebody some time. The 20 on the bottom, those tanks are basically, in my opinion, they're trash. They're drilled in the back and they're drilled in the front. So it's not usable unless somebody like mimicked the system I had. So those tanks will probably get listed for free, like anybody that wants some type deal. The tanks can always be plugged, but you wouldn't use it like a display tank. But somebody need like a quarantine tank, like in their basement or something, like come get these tanks, they're free. The rack system 1 tank, those are all drilled for bulkheads. But the issue is the tanks are long ways on the rack. So instead of looking like the depth of the tank, you're looking like the long side of the tank. And I wanted that because they're display tanks. So the bulkheads are all on the long panel of the tank. So the only people that would want that is somebody that's going to set them up the same way I did. So it's going to be a display only tank and not like a fish room tank. So, maybe I can get $5 out of them. I don't know, but we'll see. Let me read up. Recon, the energy drinks are while I'm at work. Usually that's basically when I drink my coffee. It's first thing in the morning. It's kind of wake me up. It's something hot to drink. The shop I work in, it's got heat, but I would say it's not that warm. Maybe mid 60s or so. Doesn't feel very warm. Maybe it's warmer than that, but it's definitely, you still wear a coat inside sometimes. And then the weekend, I don't know, like there's something about having coffee on a Saturday morning. Like tomorrow morning, I'm getting up early again. And by early, if you guys don't know me, I'm not really a morning person. I get up at usually like 7 o'clock during the week to go to work. And on the weekend, I will try to sleep until 9. But the dogs, which they're not in here right now, the dogs usually wake me up earlier. Havana, which is my pit bull, she's like a cuddler, lazy dog. She wants to just sleep, and I'm cool with that. But Charlotte, she's a little ball of energy. She wants to get up. She wants breakfast, and she's deaf, but Havana knows like the name, like the word breakfast. She knows that means food and dinner and stuff like that. But if I can sleep till 9, I'm happy. When I was 21, 22, we'd be up till 4 in the morning and then sleep till noon. But I don't do that anymore. But anyways, getting off on a side rant, I'm trying to get up at 6 tomorrow, and getting up and having a hot cup of coffee. Like, I know I'm old when like that's enjoyment to me, is having a hot cup of coffee on the weekend. Halfway, if you haven't hit that like button yet, now's the time. Get them, Mr. B. Let me see what else. Mr. B says, I closely guard anything coming into my fish room. Yeah, so lesson learned for me, and that was actually, I think, the first plants I ever bought. I think it was the first plants I ever bought, my first live plants. I bought them from a fish club member because I didn't really know about buying plants online. I thought, you only bought them from the store. I didn't know much about them, and so I bought some off him, and they were just stem cuts, and they had duckweed and pond snails. So I was tired of the pond snails, and so I bought pea puffers. They cleared out 2 of my 10-gallon tanks, and that rack system 1 cleared them out. The third one has shrimps. I didn't put them in there. So I only have 1 tank with pond snails, and there's not even that many in there. All the other tanks have ram's horns except for the import tanks, because I specifically brought in like nearite snails and assassin snails, rabbit snails, and I didn't want like ram's horns in there. I want nearites in these tanks, ram's horn, or not ram's horns, but the rabbit snails and assassin snails. The assassin snails are in their own tank. The rabbit snails and nearites I kind of spread out through all the tanks, because if I'm holding them to sell, I might as well have them clean all my tanks while they're in there. Recon says, great stream so far, by the way. Really enjoying it. Well, thanks, bud. I feel like the streams are, in my opinion, getting a little better as I do them. More people are chiming in. I try to use live streams to like give out information about how the business is going, and it's the quickest way for me to get information to you guys. And this week has been busy as far as the business goes, because like I said earlier, bringing on new products, been advertising with Google ads and Facebook ads. So it's just been real busy. Traffic to the website after doing the ads between Google and Facebook have shot up. Sales haven't really like changed any. There's analytics through the software, and it seems to be the same, but the visitor count's going up. And it's one of those things where the more people I get to the website, maybe the more sales I'll eventually get. So I'm trying to push people to the website. I still sell on eBay. I hate selling on eBay with a passion. I really wish I didn't sell on eBay, but eBay makes up the majority of my sales. But I still put in like business cards to eBay, the stickers and all the orders. And, when I print the shipping labels, it has the website on it, because I'm trying to get people to the website so that way I can try to get rid of eBay, because eBay hits you with the eBay selling fee, then you get hit with the PayPal fee, then you still have to ship on top of it. Where if I do everything through the website, I'm paying like the credit card fee, but that's it. I'm not paying double fees on top of everything. Get messages to my phone. So yeah, I mean, my goal is to be website only, but right now I have eBay. I also signed up on Get Gills, put some Fluval lights on there. I think maybe some fish, and I got Fluval lights in this week. I didn't order a ton of them because they're expensive to. I think I sold out of all the sizes, so I ordered in all the sizes again, and then somebody bought all the 4-foot ones, the 48-inch lights. So I'm out of stock on those. So if you guys are looking for that, let me know. I'm probably going to hold off for at least a couple weeks to reorder those, just because it is a lot of money that I have tied up in inventory. But yeah, and with the live stream, I'm trying to get feedback as far as products, because I do have some people that will message me on Facebook. The business has a Facebook account, SC Aquatics. They'll message me like asking for products, which I love. Please, if you're looking for something, message me, because if I don't have it, I can probably get it. I have multiple wholesale accounts, but I like to know, like, say if you want. Oh, dogs! We're pulling cables off the computer. Both of them are under the desk right now. Now they're distracting me. What was I thinking? So, like, if you want product X, and then somebody else says, "Hey, I want product X," then I can see a trend. Like, all right, maybe I should, work on trying to get these out there. And obviously, if it makes sense, because I want to try to be the cheapest possible, and as long as I can do that, and at least make $1 off the sale, then I'll do it. But there's some things that I've realized there's companies that will buy direct from the manufacturer, and I can't do that because maybe you need, let's just say, like a $15,000 order to be able to purchase direct. I just don't have 15 grand sitting around to be able to do that. So they might always beat me on a price. And if that's the case, most people shop by price, like whoever's the cheapest. So it just doesn't make sense for me to try to bring in some product that I know somebody else can beat me on. But I'm willing to work with people, and I know if you're trying to set up like a fish room, and you reach out to me saying like, hey, like I want to buy multiple lights, I'll work with you. I'll give you even bigger discount than normal, because I set my own fish room. I know how much money can go into it. I've done everything from the higher end Fluval lights down to the Aqua Neat lights and the shop LED lights. So I've had budget and then higher end. And after doing this for a few years now, I'm still buying Fluval lights for my fish racks. I just picked up. Oh, that's something new I can talk about. I just picked up the Fluval Aqua Sky. So it's kind of like the step below a plant light. It's a 2.0 version. They don't have a 3, but I've never used one, never even seen one, but I wanted to try it. And I actually really like it. It's a lot cheaper than a 3.0 and puts off a good light. But the main reason I got it is I can control it with my phone. And when it comes to the fish room, the more I can do with my phone, the happier I am, because it's less work on myself. YouTube's emailing me out. I'm just trying to get to the Fluval app. So here's the lights that I can control, and what's kind of cool about the 2.0 is that it has like the storm mode and cloudy day mode, where the 3.0s don't have that. The plant 3.0s, I don't use the storm mode, but I'm thinking for like if you're a breeder and you want to try breeding something that might be especially hard to breed, having that simulated storm might help. But I mainly bought them because they were cheaper than 3.0s, and I needed a decent light that I can control with my phone. So that's what I did. I don't know if there's interest in those, so I don't plan on bringing them on to the lineup, but you never know. So if anybody's in here listening and you're interested in buying something, business-wise, I shouldn't be telling you this, but before you check out, use discount code YouTube. It saves you another 10% off your order. So if you want to buy some fish food, if you want to buy some Northfin or Hikari, if you want to buy a heater for your tank, use the discount code YouTube at checkout. It'll save you 10%. Shipping's another thing. So originally I had shipping free at $99. You bought a Fluval light, you basically got free shipping on it. You bought a bunch of supplies. If you bought breeder boxes or foods, you spent $99 for free shipping. I really sat down. My brother-in-law just graduated with a business degree in like entrepreneurship, and he's been helping me a lot with the company, like on the back end of it. And I got it down to $49.99 on free shipping. I bought the Night Crew Planet Plus for my 75. Ever used it? Recon, to be honest, that's exactly what's on my 75. I have Night Crew, 2 Night Crews on my 75. Originally, it was planted for my blue Acara, and when I got my convicts, they destroyed the plants, and now it's got goldfish. But I have Night Crew and I have Aquaneat, and in my opinion, hands down, the Night Crews are better. The Aquaneats are cheap, but I don't know if it's maybe the Aquaneat I bought, but I have the Night Crew and I have the Night Crew Plus model. So like maybe it's like the Plant model and then the Planet Plus, or however they, market that. I have both of them, and I have the Aquaneat. I think I have 2 Aquaneats actually. I have a 4-foot version, and it's just too blue. Like the tint is too blue for me. Maybe if it was over a reef tank, it'd be all right. It actually might be a reef tank light. I don't know, but it's too blue. And then I have a smaller, I think it's a 3-foot version on the rack 1, and it's like on the top rack, and then the middle rack I have Night Crews, and the Night Crews it's a brighter light and it's more white. I like the Night Crew light better. My favorite light, this is going to be a sales pitch, but it's Fluval. That's the Nano light. It's on this beta tank. Oh, do I have it with me? Yes. So did I mention this yet? I don't know if I mentioned this yet. This might ruin a video that's coming out. But either way, I have axolotls now. They're from Ohio Fish Rescue. I have 2 of them. They're the wild type. And I brought them home. I've had them, gosh, it's been weeks now. I've had them for weeks. And they were in a 10-gallon tank. They were in the original Goldfish 10-gallon tank. And then I went out and bought them a 20 long. I set it up in my family room. I keep adding tanks in my family room, which is, I probably need to stop, but I just MTS. And so I bought them a 20 long. They'll eventually go into a 40 breeder. Is my plan, is to get them into a 40 breeder, but right now they're small enough that the 20 long is fine. I did a whole video on the setup of the tank. It's planted. It's not heavily planted, but it's planted. It's got Carib Sea sand in it. It's got Mexican cobblestone. It's got driftwood. Well, anyways, I wanted a nano plant light on it. I have Fluval 2-foot lights, 3-foot lights. I wanted the plant light because I love the look of this little square on the gooseneck. I love that look. And so I just ordered 1 extra one when I restocked this week. So when they came in, I was like, awesome, I got an extra one. I'm going to put it on that tank. I had this like cheap little LED clip-on light that was like a grow light, but I don't know what it would grow other than maybe, I don't know, mold or something. Like it wasn't very powerful. And it was red and blues, and it was fine because axolotls don't like a ton of light, but the Crypt and the Nubius I put in there, like immediately was melting. And it's a cold water tank, so I'm not surprised they were melting anyways, but they were melting pretty hard. And that Nubius, I have usually no problems moving it tank to tank in my house. So when it started melting, I'm like, all right, I need to get it some better light. And Charlotte's here. She's deaf, so sign language. This means come here. Get her on video because people like her. Yep. She is over a year old now. She's still deaf. She didn't get her hearing back. I know it's not a thing, but go on. Go on. Okay. Anyways, so I bought that light because I wanted to be able to control it with my phone. I can set up the sunrise, have it gradually get brighter. I can set the peak time for however long I want in the day and the brightness. So I have peak time only for 2 hours. The sun on that, I'm talking about the axolotl tank. Sun comes on at 9. It peaks brightness at noon, and then at 2 p.m. it starts tapering off. And I think peak brightness right now is at like 70%. But so here's the problem I ran into, and I didn't even think about it because I have it set up on this thing. This is a rimless, I think it's a 4-gallon. The Nano is only for rimless tanks. Completely didn't even think about it. And the 20 longs, the Aqueon, bought it at the Petco $1 sale. It's got the plastic rim. I was like, crap, how do I mount this thing now? And I can MacGyver some crazy stuff, but I wanted it to look clean. I could use like a wood clamp, and I could try to cut the frame off like in a section. But I ended up getting the 3D printer out, and I designed this thing. So this is how it sits. And the way it works is if this is your fish tank, this slides over. So it'd be like that, and this is your rim. And then you twist it, and it's tight. It's a tight fit. You twist it, and it pops. And then it's locked onto the rim of the tank. And what that does, and this would be like on the outside, that gives you this guy right here to mount something to. And then this just gave me more ideas. I think I'm going to redesign it and put a hole in it because the USB air pumps that have a little carabiner, you could carabine it to that. And that way it's sticking onto the back of the tank. You don't have it like stuck somewhere else. You know, maybe you could hide it. Anyways, this gave me a platform that's rimless thickness. So that nano light clips onto this because it's got like this nice base. It slides over and it's got thumb screw locks it, but then you can rotate it a little bit. So this basically turned my Aqueon tank into a rimless tank as far as mounting goes. And somehow, I don't know how I made this, but on first try, I got it to be tight enough that you actually have to like force it. And then like once you get over a certain point, it just like clips in and it works. But I think I do want to put the hole in it, and maybe I'll try and incorporate like an airline holder or something like that to, you know, be more than one use in my aquariums. You know, if I only use this for these lights, then that's it. But, you know, I can print off a bunch of these and maybe make it so it holds airlines running across tanks. You know, you can put these every few tanks like in my fish room. So, you know, maybe dual purpose. But we'll see. Your dog said heck with you and booked it. Is that a Peckner clip? I don't know what Peckner clip is. This is a clip I designed from scratch and printed on my 3D printer that fits Aqueon tanks. Let me see where I'm at. Recon said that's awesome. It was a good price for my budget, so I thought I'd try it out. The 75 was actually my first planted tank. I would love to redo my 75 as a full planted tank, but right now it's got goldfish in it, and they like to tear it up. So, I mean, I could still do a planted tank with the goldfish. I would just have to probably do like Anubias and probably Crips. But yeah. I'd love to have a Fluval light, but they're way out of my price range. Recon, yes, they are not cheap. They are honestly very nice. I love the quality on them, but they are expensive. That's why the main reason I brought in the Aqua Sky, because it's a lot cheaper, but still allows you to use the Fluval app. And the app is what I wanted because the app's very good. And being able to control it all is fantastic. I thought this was the Tom Green show. No. Let's see. Let's go ahead and I got my first troll. That's awesome. Heck yeah. I didn't even catch it until I just went back. I saw Nola said mod. I didn't even catch it until I read I did a walrus last night. Yep. Recon says, you have made it when you get a troll. January 31st, 2020, I made it. I got my first troll. And Mr. B, I made you a mod and I had to block my own troll. What is up with that? That's actually, as far as trolls go, after moderating for Ohio Fish Rescue, that wasn't bad. I honestly didn't even block them. I just hit them. But yeah, so I don't even know where I'm at. I got a dog back again. Well, she's actually laying down. I would say let's be quiet, but she's deaf, so it doesn't matter. It seems kind of effed up whenever I talk about her being deaf because I kind of make fun of her too. But it's funny when I take her to my parents' house and like my mom starts like trying to call her for attention. I'm always like, she's deaf, and my mom knows. It's just you always forget. And, you try to yell at her, but like she can't hear you. But this is no. So if she sees me do this, or you guys see me do this, I'm telling her no. I used to do this every day. She really only knows like come here, no, and come here, no, really. Sit. She knows sit. Sit's just a fist. But so Recon, how long are you streaming for? Honestly, I plan on stopping in like a few minutes. So typically, I feel like there's kind of the standard going on now with FishTube, and it's like you stream for an hour, you have your time slots. Ohio Fish Rescue is usually from 7 till 8. I'll have to check the FishTuber notification on Facebook. Mr. B posts a list every day of who's streaming because I forget who's on at 8 o'clock, but I'm assuming it's King and Queen. So from here, everybody goes to King and Queen. And then you have LRB Aquatics at 9:30. Tom says, Tracy from OFR would gladly take your goalies off your hands if you want to plant the 75. So that is true. I could totally give them to her. But honestly, I really like the goldfish. So that 75 has 3 fish in it. It's got 2 goldfish. They're fancy tails, or fantails, I mean. And then it's got a kissing gourami. And all 3 of those were quote-unquote rescues. They were rehomes. The goldfish came from a coworker, and the pink kissing gourami came from a club member that was moving from Ohio to California. And I wasn't even supposed to take it. I was taking Electric Blue Car from him, and he talked me into taking the kissing gourami. It was already with the Akara that I took from him, so I thought it'd be like okay. And one of the Akara was kind of picking on it, and the gourami would just pick on it back. So I wasn't sure how it would get along with the goldfish. And now the pink kissing gourami is a goldfish. They sleep together. They always go into one corner of the tank at night. They settle down onto the sand bottom, and that's like where they sleep. And they always swim together, and like they don't mess with each other. Goldfish like don't mess with anything, but the gourami I was a little worried about. But no, the gourami thinks it's a goldfish now. I use Tetra fish crisps, I think they're called. It's like the little round discs that float. And when the goldfish go up and start sucking at the surface, the gourami comes up and does the same thing. And yeah, that's kind of like having 3 goldfish. So I love it. I love that tank. It's one of my favorite tanks to watch. Goldfish have so much character, but the tank itself drives me nuts. It was my first tank. There's not much character to it anymore, so I really want to get in there and redo it. But so maybe I can do something, but I still plan on getting a water box, 220 gallons set up. I really want to have like my last big tank purchase, and that would be a water box salt setup, but it's not going to be a salt tank. I want their salt tank, like salt setup, so that way I have the sump, because their freshwater tank is just a tank. It's not drilled for anything. I want to have a sump, so that way increases the water volume. I can have basically a whole nother tank underneath to set up like basically a refugium and have plants growing underneath, have shrimp down there. I kind of want to do a discus tank, but I don't know exactly if I'll do that or not, because being open top, it would lose a lot of heat, and I don't really want to do a top on it. I want it to be a rimless open tank. And so I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I know Lucas said he would come and aquascape it with me, and Jimmy Schwisky said he would come down as well. Schwisky is semi-local to me. He lives in my state. He's about 2 hours away, but he said he would also come down and hang out. So I thought it'd be kind of cool if I can get him down like on a Friday night or a Saturday and do a live stream, have the 3 of us messing with that water box aquarium. I thought it'd be pretty cool. But let's wrap this up. It's almost 8 o'clock. So let me see. I appreciate everybody that stopped in here for sure tonight. Don't forget, if you go to the website 614fish.com, use the discount code, save yourself 10% off at checkout. The code is YouTube, so it's pretty easy to remember. But thank you, all you guys tonight. I really enjoyed tonight. It's kind of revived me into getting back into this. But go check out King and Queen Cichlids. I believe they're next. I was asleep last night when I was trying to help Chris set you his live stream. Chris the Mad Aquarius. Is Chris next? Is that? Oh, King and Queen is a premiere, not a live. Okay, so I'm assuming Biggs is next for a live stream. I'm so confused on this chat right now, Mr. B. I was asleep at the wheel because I was trying to help Chris set you his live stream. Actually, question for you guys. He's not receiving date from encoder. Oh, Mr. B sent me a message. If he's trying to get the data from the encoder, I don't know if he's using Streamlabs, but I ran into that issue before. Right now, this is YouTube Studio. I gave it a shot tonight. I've been switching between Streamlabs, OSB, StreamYard, and then YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio is super easy, so that's why I gave it a shot. But anyways, guys, check out Biggs is next. Mr. B says Big is next. I don't know if you dropped the link to his channel, but go ahead and drop it if you want. Everybody go check out Chris Biggs' channel. He is next on live, and I will see you guys there. But off camera, I'm going to go grab a beer, go play with the dogs, and I'll be in that chat. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.